Hey, this is my Static Monsters 2018 recap video. Saturday, 27th of October, just gone. I competed at technically my fourth Static Monsters event. Competed in 2016 in the under 80 category and won it worldwide and set a Australian record of 127 kilos on the log. In 2017 I competed in under 90 category and managed to qualify for Worlds. Then this year, 2018, I went to the Gold Coast with Alira to compete at the first Static Monsters World Championship, in which I finished third with a 130 kilo log and a 335 kilo deadlift in the under 90 class. This was my fourth time competing at the Static Monsters. I was also running this event, Static Monsters Melbourne, at Inter Performance. It was a great day. Personally, I hit 134 kilo log press, which is now the new Australian record. It was a PB for me and pretty much what I've been working for the last 12 months or more. Then I hit a 320 kilo deadlift, which was enough to win Australia wide, second in the world, 1 kilo behind first. The results are just coming through now, but from what I can see, I've come second by 1 kilo. Not too disappointed with it because my goal was to get the Australian record. My goal was to qualify for Worlds next year under 80 and be what I think might be the only person to qualify in 2 weight categories. So I've qualified for under 80s and under 90s. So I hadn't really prepped the deadlift at all. I had one deadlift session on the axle leading up to this comp where I hit a 250 and then missed 280, and then at the comp I opened on 290, which I think was pretty ballsy. Wouldn't recommend most people doing that. So yeah, I could have probably lifted more on the deadlift and got the overall win, but I mean, I got a comp this weekend, so I was holding back a little bit on the deadlift so that I can compete at Vic Strongest this Sunday. So yeah, no regrets really, but maybe 2.5 more kilos to win worldwide again would have been nice. So this video I wanted to share a little bit of a backstory with my log press. I've compiled as much footage as I've found on my phone and computer. I've put a lot of work into the log press, which you'll see. So in 2015 I held the first log press record, which is this lift of 115 kilos. This was at the first and only log press championships in Campbelltown, New South Wales. From there, I think I hit 117 in a comp. This is 120 kilos. To raise the log press record again, and then I hit 127.5 kilos at the Static Monsters 2016. I don't have any footage of that lift, so a photo will have to do. Over the next few months and years, I couldn't quite beat 130 kilos. This is 130 in an under 90 competition, went up really easy. This is in America. I was hoping to open on 115, and I ended up finishing on 115. That log was just very spinny and tremendously hard. So back to the drawing board, more push pressing, more split jerks, more push jerks, banded work, all the different types of log pressing. I tried to use as many different logs as I could so that I knew what to look for on a different log, so that no matter what log I used, I knew what to look for, where to put my hands, what way it spins, things like that. Douche. 12 inch, 10 inch, I even used the 8 inch in this prep a little bit for Static Monsters. Just tried to do a bit of everything and get better at everything as you do. So it looks, this is over the last year or two, it's a lot of log pressing, a lot of struggling. The tough part is a lot of the times I'd still miss 115 kilos, 120 would only go up on a good day. I think this is me cracking it here. Yeah. So I'd still get really frustrated with missing reps, and I just wasn't able to beat that 130 kilos that I'd done once before, or now twice. I think this day here we're getting up to a 127 or something. I tried some Vipers. This footage here is at Static Monsters 2017 down at Valeo. Missing 132.5, going for a PB. Still couldn't get it, and that was in the under 90 category. So we go back to training. Vipers, push pressing, split jerking, paused split jerks, doing everything you need to do to try and get better at this log. I think what made the biggest difference in this prep was not just the log pressing I was doing, but the amount of accessory work that I added in. For people that have seen me training, I added in a lot of the CrossFit circuit type of stuff, and was just able to increase my volume of training a tremendous amount lately. Out in the driveway, so practicing on a crooked surface. Anyone that's lifted outside on the log knows how difficult it is looking up at the sky, not having anything to focus on. So yeah, really tried to do a bit of everything. Almost died there. This is probably 120 or 125, so weights that I'd hit. This was 128. And there is 132.5. Sunny Saturday in the garage. After close to, I think it was just over 18 months, I'd hit a 2.5 kilo PB. That was while I was training for Static Monsters World Champs. This is the World Champs here. So this is me missing my opening lift of 125 kilos. I missed it on my first attempt and my first shot at my second attempt. Finally got it here on my second shot of my second attempt. And then my third attempt, 130, with a split jerk, getting that there. So I wanted to get a 132.5 at that comp, but I didn't. Back to the drawing board, back to missing reps. That was a miss at 125. This is some work with 110. And a couple of months ago, I had a shot at the Australian records. This is 134 kilos I'm going for, and I missed it a shitload of times. Getting close. This is in an under 80s comp, so I'd cut weight. My goals for this comp was to see if I could get this record, see if I could deadlift 300, and I did neither of those things, but what I did do is get the Atlas Stone record randomly, so yeah, I got the record for the thing I hadn't been training for, and that's just life. So there's a few misses at 134. Back to the drawing board, preparing for Static Monsters 2018, more split jerks, more paused work, back to the chiro and working on my mobility. I don't know if you can tell, but I can see in these videos my mobility through the upper back and shoulders is a lot better, splitting a bit deeper. These ones in particular show how much I can push my head through now. I've stopped bench pressing. That's a 125. Stopped bench pressing to try and stop being so tight in the chest. I've worked my trunk and my lower back harder than ever. I've worked on explosiveness more than ever. There's a 100 kilo Viper, which I've only done a couple of times, and some easy splits. This one's a 120, I think, and then some misses at 130. This is 2 weeks away from comp, and I'm missing 130. They didn't feel too bad, and this was about 7 AM in the morning. So I missed 130 kilos 3 times. And then the next week, on a Monday, the week before comp, this is a 130. Yeah, I've put my hair up. That gave me the confidence that I knew that I could do 134 in comp. That 130 felt amazing. That was only the, maybe 5th time I'd hit 130 or more over the last 2 years since I first hit it. So I went into the comp, I opened on 120 kilo log press just to get a score on the board. And then bumped it straight up to 134 to go for the record.
Come on! Come on, you can do it! Ah! Oh. Come on, you can do it! Come on! Ah!
So I missed it twice on my second attempt, because you do get a minute per attempt, so that's why I say I missed it twice on my second attempt. So then my third attempt, I knew what I had to do to make the lift. I had to clean it slightly better to get it to pop off my chest. I had to go down a little bit slower and arch my back a bit tighter so that my heels stayed on the floor. And then I had to split just a little bit further to make sure that my back foot lands on the toe and that my front foot isn't stopping me from getting under the log.
You got this! Come on! Come on, you can do this! Come on! You got this, come on! Get it up! Yes, yes, yes! Up! Yeah! Come on, come on!
So then the remainder of the day, this is my opening axle deadlift at 290. Didn't get my 310 on film, and this is my 320. Stalled a bit, just got stuck on my skin, I think, or on my shorts. And that was my day. So a 320 axle deadlift. I think for me that might be a 5 kilo PB competing under 80. So I've hit 335, weighing 80. I think I weighed in at 87 kilos at Static Worlds. And weight definitely makes a big difference. Not so much weighing more, and I've had this conversation with a few people recently. It's not necessarily weighing more that helps. It does help a little bit, but it's more that for 2 months I can eat 1,000 calories more every day. And for 2 months, 7,000 calories a week, that makes a massive difference on recovery and therefore strength. So, you know, for the last 2 months while training for this comp, I've been eating at maintenance calories, just trying to stay the same weight or drop a bit of body fat. So I haven't really been building strength really. And like I said, I hadn't practiced any axle deadlifts. So part of me really wishes I'd gone for 2.5 kilos more to go for the win. But you don't know what other people are going to lift, and you don't know what's happening on the other side of the world. So the guy who won, Aaron, messaged me last night, so he seems like a nice guy, and I might get to meet him at Worlds next year on the Gold Coast if we both do it, and maybe I can aim for the win there, or more than likely I'll be going for another log press record. I'm already psyched up for it. Alright, thanks for watching. We're getting ready for Victoria's Strongest Man and Victoria's Strongest Woman this weekend, so water loading again to cut a little bit of weight. I've only got 2 kilos to drop, and I'm excited for that one. Body's feeling good, didn't pull up too sore from this one. Already been to the chiro and recovery this week. So everything's looking good for another good weekend in the sport.